Hello, this is C.J. McPherson, and today we're going to look at one of the most mysterious subjects in the Iron Kingdoms, the Orgoth. Now, the Orgoth, just to clarify, not the Ogren. The Orgoth are people who invaded Western Immoren several hundred years ago and started most of its modern-day history through their actions. The Ogren are a species that inhabit Western Immoren, more similar to our conventional depiction of ogres. The Orgoth have a mysterious history, and we know almost nothing of their people or the motivations for their mass invasion of the Iron Kingdoms before they were the Iron Kingdoms. We know a couple things, and from this we can infer at least a strong narrative about what could have been going on in their homeland, which we've never seen and have confirmed from the team who make the game, as far as I know, we will never see. They will never come up ever again. They will never be playable. We know they were created by Menoth like all humans were. They are humans, in fact, of a different ethnicity and race. We know they turned to infernalism at some point after being created and practiced necromancy. Here we have the clue as to what was going on the whole time. If they had turned to infernalism before Menoth gave them the gifts of the wall, the sheath, the law, and the flame, they would never have the ability to farm. They wanted food. They wanted to find a settled people like the Imres or the zoo, potentially, who could farm for them and build them fortifications because they could not build or farm because they did not get Menoth's gifts. Crix likely is in the same situation in some way. They wanted food, and they wanted buildings. They probably turned to necromancy because they had no food and their people died off too quickly. And if they invaded Western Immoren, they had to have done so with their full strength as a people. They brought over even the administration staff to manage the empire for them. I mean, the entire nation of the Orgoth was over in Western Immoren the whole time. That's the only way they could have subdued such great numbers. And then they broke. The Immorenes invented the first Colossals and the Warjacks and the Warjack Codexes. They invented magic off of gifts given from Thamar. And they pushed them out. Likely the Orgoths starved to death on the way back or starved to death back in their homeland. And they might have burned their records simply so people didn't use their potent necromancy against them like Crix did on purpose to create the War Witch magical lineage. And they're dead. The Orgoth, at this point, hundreds of years later, are dead. If they never found Zoo and tried to invade them, the only other thing we know they could have done in the setting to get food, they did not last much longer than their defeat. This is my best guess as to what happened to their people and why they invaded Immoren. Thank you. McPherson out.